as an emergency responder, I get to respond to all different types of calls. One that I have looked back on and attempted to use the different level factors to analyze was a 311 condominium fire that occurred about a year and a half ago. I was a member of a truck company. We were the second arriving truck. The fire was contained to approximately 6 two-story condominiums. It was reported in the middle of a hot summer day in a unit that was not vacant, but I believe the owners were either out of town or possibly at work. The system level factors that I look at this go far beyond the actions of the fire department. The system as a whole includes not just the fire department, but it also includes the call takers and dispatchers at the emergency communication center, as well as the individuals in the community who call 911 and report these. We also have to deal with things that could impact it, such as weather, traffic, building construction, hazardous materials, and many other aspects which could play a role, even such as arriving apparatus, bystanders, police responders on scene. It's almost overwhelming to look at this as a as an entire system. It definitely helps to break things down on the group level. And on events like these, there are two different group levels that are most pertinent to an emergency responder, and that's going to be your immediate crew, as well as the totality of the response. My immediate crew was my officer, one other firefighter, and our engineer operator who drove us there. He got us there safely, navigating the complexities of Houston traffic while driving a very large vehicle at high speed, lights and sirens, running red lights, and trying to keep up to date on where we were going and receiving incoming information to make sure that what we were doing we were prepared for. Our crew was immediately assigned a primary search, and we relied on very little direct communication. We have all been trained on standard techniques and protocols for our department, so very few words were exchanged as we entered multiple units that were in fire or at risk of being on fire, forcing entry. Upon, I believe it was either the second or third unit, upon the completion of the search, we had found an abandoned hose line, and seeing heavy fire conditions, we began to make an attack on the fire. Though, as we made this attack, we were almost immediately called to vacate the building, to abandon the structure. While not understanding why, from where we were, it appeared that we were knocking the fire down effectively, and we completed the primary search. However, part of the job is following orders, and those orders were coming from the incident commander, who was the chief. We vacated the structure, came back out the front, and saw that the front of the building was still intact, and there was no more smoke or fire than we had seen upon entry. We were reassigned to the division of the rear of the building, where there was an almost immediate explosion and collapse, leveling the condominium that we had been in, particularly centered around the bedroom we had just been in moments before. The group level factors on this were key. The risk of collapse was not visible to the district chief. He was relying on the words of officers who reported to him, such as safety officers, division heads, which were typically district chiefs as well, and the statements coming from firefighters and other officers that when they saw something, they were reporting it back. district chief made the decision that was made the decision to pull us out. And thankfully, we were cognizant of the fact that we couldn't see everything and we could not control everything around us. From there, we'd get down to the individual level factors, and quite often, where the various biases we've discussed before, particularly things like recency, some of the confidence-related ones, while they can cause bad decision making, I believe they can also be a positive thing as it helps when overcoming fear and dealing with the irrational behavior of going into a burning building, particularly one that's on the verge of collapse. However, by applying our individual training and to some degree these biases, we are able to function as an individual that can also be a member of a team or a group that is able to achieve goals greater than what three individuals can do on their own. I think the framework is a good way to analyze in retrospect, but it is very difficult to apply in many of the situations that I find in my line of work. Trying to apply a lot of it ahead of time can actually be a limitation on scene. Much of what we do is based on the concept of compressed time. We have a limited amount of time. We don't have all the information, and we have to make quick decisions without further ado. A lot of what helps that is at the beginning of your career, you rely on written guidelines, protocols, and rules taught to you in training, and you apply those rules consciously. As you progress in your career, you then move on to intuitive responses that are based on things like pattern matching. For example, I've seen a door like this before. I know how to force entry on this door with minimal effort because I've done this before. So, however, you find that it's slightly different and you're able to apply a new pattern. So the biggest constant, I would argue, in this is there is constant change, even though the fire service has strong traditions and cultures that go back many years. While this framework is useful for analytical decision making and retrospective analysis, it cannot be actively used during many incidences easily due to the fast-paced nature of my work. Using it to analyzing past behavior, figure out how to adjust a past behavior and adjust those patterns that we use as we become experienced seems like a logical choice. And at that point, it becomes far less limiting. However, you have to use it in some way that is occurring when you are not on an active incident. Overall, I find the concept fascinating, and it definitely helps examine why things occurred, and hopefully through training, guidelines, and protocol updates, past errors can be fixed so they do not occur again